Hey, it's JMV and Paul at the Mower Shop in Fishers. We're spring training and preventative maintenance for your lawnmower as the cutting season is underway really early this year. And Paul, I want to talk about the big riding lawnmower, in this case the biggest riding lawnmower, the Toro Z Master Commercial. It's an awesome machine, no doubt about that. But many people that have these may want to know what to understand, what to do when you start the mowing season.
Sure. And this is very much like the one you have.
No, it's exactly like the one I have, and it's the greatest lawnmower ever right here.
Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do, we're going to change the oil, but before we change the oil, we want to check it just to make sure that we have the proper amount and we don't ruin our engine. And once we know that it has the proper amount, we would start our machine and let it warm up. And it's going to have to warm up, say 5 or 10 minutes, just to get that oil nice and viscous so that it drains out. And this machine actually has an oil filter, just like our cars. So we'll need fresh oil, which it'll take about 1.5 quarts, and you'll need an oil filter right here. So right next to where the dipstick is. So you'd put your oil filter wrench on there, take that off, and put the new one on. You'd also have your oil drain. And once you've changed the oil and we've got that taken care of, we would want to next change the air filter. And on this Toro with the Kawasaki, it's right underneath here, and this is a twin air filter. So there's 2 pieces in here, and these are not cheap. So if they look good, our recommendation is you probably don't need to change them. And in this case, you can see these are brand new. They look really clean. And if this is packed full of grass and dust and dirt, or it's not white like this one, probably time to change. And the same thing here. Then we have spark plugs to do. You've got 2 of them. This is a twin cylinder. They're going to be right next to the cylinder head. So you've got one here and then one on the other side. And unfortunately, they're not really easy to get at, but easy enough that we can change them ourselves.
But incredibly important. There's
very
no doubt about
important.
that.
And for the cost of a spark plug, you may as well change it every year.
Yep. What's the life on a battery normally for one of these?
That's a great question, John. It really just depends on the quality of the battery at the beginning. If you are buying a battery that's got a high cold cranking amps, it'll last longer. If the battery has a very low cold cranking amps with 100 or 200, it's probably not going to last very long. And if we leave the battery in the machine all winter long and the temperature fluctuates a lot, that's harder on it. It's probably best to take the battery out and store it in a climate controlled area, and from time to time actually even charge it. A couple other things we ought to look at on this machine before we get it ready for the season. There is another real easy preventative maintenance piece, and that's the fuel filter. And it's right here. You can see it's this little clear white piece. Once again, for the cost of that filter, it's probably $5 or $6. Change that every year so that we don't have problems with our fuel and we keep everything flowing like it should. And obviously we want to get our blade sharpened. On a zero turn like this, not very easy to get at. What we tell people is if you have car ramps, you can drive the machine up on car ramps, and then it's just, you're going to have to lay down and take them off. Or we can come and do it for you. We can pick the machine up, sharpen blades. We can also do all the maintenance that we're talking about here.
Listen, I completely forgot about this until you reminded me of this. Very important, often forgotten about as well, the belts on your lawnmower. Very important. Show us.
And so right underneath this platform that you put your feet on are the spindles where the belt is. And really, this is something that's pretty easy to check. And it's just a matter of pulling this belt, and all you're looking for is cracks. And you can see this belt, obviously brand new because this machine has never been in the turf, but you're just pulling it through and you're looking for cracks or some maybe strange wear pattern. And typically a belt will not break unless there's another problem. And so whenever one of these breaks, we always want to look at all these pulleys as well. There's 3 or 4 pulleys on the deck, and that's one final thing we'd want to check before we got ready for our mowing season, because there's nothing worse than starting the mowing and having that belt break and you're out in the middle of the job and you've got to stop. If you had a mower like this, at least every other year, you ought to have us look at it. I know it's expensive to have a mower serviced, but in the long run, if it can eliminate you having problems in the middle of the mowing season, probably worth it.
Well, you're looking at the best in the business right here. You're also looking at the best in the business right here. My good friend Paul from the Mower Shop in Fishers. Spring training for your lawnmower, the do-it-yourselfer, and those that need to bring it in and get the expertise of the great folks at the Mower Shop in Fishers.